Part 5: The Fall. The knock on the door came like thunder in the dead of night. Alex jumped from his bed, his heart hammering, sweat dripping down his face. Before he could move, the door crashed open, and 2 officers stormed in. Alex Mensa. One barked, shoving him against the wall. "You're under arrest." Cold metal cuffs bit into his wrists. His father rushed into the room, shouting, "What is this? My son is no criminal." But his words were drowned out by the chaos, Alex's cries echoing as he was dragged into the darkness. In the interrogation room, the air was heavy with smoke and judgment. A detective leaned across the table, his eyes sharp as knives. "Enough games, Alex. We know everything. You were there. You saw who pulled the trigger. You've been running from both sides, but tonight, you'll choose. Speak, or go down with them." Alex's chest heaved, tears blurring his vision. He shook his head, whispering, "I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to belong." The detective slammed his fist against the table, making Alex flinch. "Belong? You want to belong? Then belong to the right side. Help us. We're a wire. Bring them down." His voice was sharp, his words final. Alex felt the walls closing in. Betray the big boys, and he was dead. Betray the police, and he was caged. His life was no longer his. It was a pawn in a game far larger than him. At last, broken and trembling, Alex whispered, "Fine. I'll do it. I'll help you." His voice cracked like shattered glass, heavy with regret. The detective's eyes hardened. "Good. But understand this. One mistake, one wrong word, and they'll find out. And when they do, we won't be there to save you." Alex nodded, but his soul screamed. He was no hero, no soldier. He was just a boy who had wandered too far into shadows. The next night, Alex walked back into the lion's den. His chest was tight, sweat dripping down his back as he sat among the big boys once more. The laughter, the drinks, the swagger, all of it felt like poison. The wire pressed against his skin, burning with every word he spoke. He forced himself to smile, to laugh, to act normal, but every glance felt like suspicion, every question like a trap. "Why so quiet these days, Alex?" one of them asked, narrowing his eyes. Alex's throat tightened. He forced a shaky laugh. "Just tired. That's all. Just tired." The man stared for a long moment, then smirked, turning away. Alex exhaled, his hands trembling under the table. Every second felt like a lifetime. Then, like thunder, the raid came. Sirens wailed, boots pounded against the floor, doors shattered under the force of battering rams. Chaos erupted as police stormed the room, shouting commands, dragging men to the ground. Alex froze, his body locked in terror as the world collapsed around him. And in the middle of the storm, he felt it, eyes burning into him. Big Boy, too, the killer himself, stared at Alex with fury that could melt steel. His face twisted with betrayal as he roared above the chaos. You snake! You sold us out!" His words cut deeper than any blade. Alex's blood ran cold. In that moment, he knew. No prison, no police, no sentence could erase this truth. He was marked. A traitor. A dead man walking. Part 6: 2 years in the shadows. The courtroom was suffocating, filled with murmurs, the stench of old wood, and the weight of judgment. Alex stood trembling as the judge's voice boomed, cold and final. "Alex Mensa, for your silence, for your delay in aiding the investigation, and for your ties to organized crime, you are sentenced to 2 years in prison." The words didn't just fall, they crashed on him like boulders, crushing his spirit. His father, seated in the back, bowed his head, his shoulders trembling, unable to meet his son's eyes. Alex wanted to scream, to beg, to run, but his legs wouldn't move. His life was no longer his. Prison was not just a place, it was another world. The air was thick with sweat, iron, and despair. The walls whispered with stories of broken men, of lost dreams. The gates clanged shut behind him, and the sound echoed in his bones. Alex was thrown into a cell that smelled of rust and regret. His cellmate, a hardened man with scars like maps on his skin, studied him with cold eyes. "First time, huh?" the man asked, his voice rough. Alex nodded, his throat dry. "Rule 1, keep your head down. Rule 2, trust no one." The days blurred into each other, heavy and colorless. Alex woke to shouts, clanging bars, and fights that erupted without warning. He learned to walk quickly, to eat silently, to sleep with one eye open. The once dreamer who longed for glitter now sat in silence, his mind replaying the gunshot, the betrayal, the moment Big Boy 2 screamed his name with venom. At night, he lay awake, whispering, "I should have stayed in the shop. I should have listened to my father." Regret gnawed at him like a rat chewing through bone. Every moment became a mirror reflecting his mistakes. He had traded peace for chaos, honesty for shadows, love for fear. The walls of the prison weren't the only bars holding him captive. Guilt was the heavier chain. He was trapped inside his own choices, and there was no escape. But prison also hardened him. The boy who once trembled became a man who could not afford weakness. He learned to fight, to defend himself, to stare back at the darkness without flinching. The fire of survival burned away the last of his innocence. Yet inside, beneath the armor, he was broken. A man shaped by mistakes, haunted by blood. Letters from his father came rarely. When they did, they were short, written in trembling handwriting. "Stay strong, son. I am waiting." Alex read them over and over, clutching the paper as if it were a lifeline. Each word pierced him with both comfort and sorrow. He longed for forgiveness, but he wondered if forgiveness was possible for a man like him. 2 years felt like 20, but time, cruel as it was, eventually moved. The day came when the gates opened once more. The guard shoved his belongings into his hands, his voice flat. "You're free. Free." The word felt hollow. Freedom wasn't the same as peace. Alex stepped outside, blinking against the sunlight, feeling the weight of the world pressing down on his scarred soul. He wasn't the same boy who once dreamed of dancing with kings. He was a man carved by shadows, carrying lessons written in blood and iron. And as he walked away from the prison, he whispered to himself, "Never again. Never again will I chase shadows."
Good day, world. My name is Oluwafemi Precious Emmanuel, and I am the owner of the Elder Cinematic Universe. Now, as a universe, we are going to be telling stories that resonate with our day-to-day lives and also giving you the best cinematic exposure. We are here on YouTube to reach out to the entire globe and make sure that we create lasting impact with our visuals. Don't forget to like, share, and also comment on all our videos and hit the notification bell so that whenever we drop a video, you can be the first to know. Thank you so much for joining and welcome on board.